Hello everyone and welcome into Coach Craig Sports. This is the NBA DFS Core Pick video for Tuesday, March 4th. If you're joining me for the very first time, first of all, welcome in. Second of all, this is how today's video will be structured. We'll be going over my core picks for both DraftKings and FanDuel. In the morning, I'll be posting my morning injury report. That will have all the injury reports for all the teams not on the back-to-backs. It's a 7-game main slate on DraftKings, 9-game main slate on FanDuel. There's 4 teams in total on back-to-backs, so those 4 teams will have their injury reports listed later on in the day. And then I will also be posting all the injury updates throughout the day, as well as my updated core about 20 to 30 minutes prior to lock or as those changes do become available. And then last but not least, I will be listing as many of the starting lineups as I can get to throughout the evening as well. But without further ado, we'll get right into it with the DraftKings side. We're going to start off at that point guard position with Tyrese Haliburton of the Indiana Pacers. He's $8,600. We're looking for 43 out of him. Averaging just over 41 so far in the season, but he's been playing really well as of late. It's a little bit tougher matchup for Houston Rockets if they are full strength. They're on the back-to-back. Most of their guys did ultimately end up sitting out on Monday, so we'll see whether or not they end up playing or not on Tuesday. But definitely do like Haliburton in this matchup. Pace-up spot, typically when the Pacers play, might be a little bit slower pace against this Rockets team, but definitely do like his upside. Currently, I'm projected for 44-45 in this matchup overall. Then we move down to shooting guard with Gary Trent Jr. of the Milwaukee Bucks. So a couple injuries now for the Milwaukee Bucks. Kyle Kuzma doubtful to play for this game. Do think there'll be some extra minutes to go around for Gary Trent, especially if they need offense out there. And at $4,000, only need 20 points out of him to pay off at 5 times value. Currently averaging just over 18 so far in the season, but do have him projected for 24 in this matchup for the Atlanta Hawks, which should be a pretty favorable one just in general. Then we move down to small forward with OG Anunoby, $6,100. Looking for 30-31 out of him. Goes against the Golden State Warriors, who are on the back-to-back, so they might be playing some backups here. They might rest some of their guys like Steph Curry and Draymond Green, and if that's the case, would be a more favorable matchup for the New York Knicks. There is a chance that Karl-Anthony Towns could miss, which would open up more usage to go around for this Knicks team in total, because you're either getting Precious Achiuwa starting, which will still be a bump down in usage, or Mitchell Robinson, who would significantly open up a lot of usage since he doesn't take up much himself. So definitely like the upside of the Knicks if Karl-Anthony Towns is out. So OG Anunoby, Josh Hart, Jalen Brunson, all those guys will get some pretty big bumps up in terms of usage. OG Anunoby playing really well as of late. And once again at $6,100, looking for 30-31 out of him. Currently I'm projected for 33-34, but definitely could have some strong upside for even more. Then we move down to power forward with Yabusele of the 76ers. So Andre Drummond is playing on Monday night's game, back-to-back. Drummond hasn't really been playing too many back-to-backs so far this season, so I would kind of expect him to rest once again. So Yabusele probably starting at that center position, getting as many minutes as he can handle. And Tyrese Maxey did injure his back tonight, so there could be some usage to go around just in general, especially if he doesn't play. If Paul George and Kelly Oubre both don't play once again, could be a wild, wild west game for the 76ers team. But if Yabusele gets the minutes, could definitely outperform this price tag of $5,100, where we're looking for 25-26 out of him. Currently averaging just over 23 so far on the season. But with all that being said, currently I have been projected for 28 DraftKings points. And then last but not least, we're going down to that center position with Brook Lopez of the Milwaukee Bucks, $5,800. Looking for 29 out of him. Since Bobby Portis has been gone, he's been playing big minutes. He's been playing really well. Currently, I'm projected for 30, but definitely could outperform that price tag at the same time as well. And could be an interesting matchup for the Atlanta Hawks. You know, Clint Capella hasn't been playing too much. Okongwu's not terrible defensively, but Brook Lopez still could have his way with him overall. But with that being said, if you go with the 5 players that I do currently have listed here, you got $20,400 remaining, $6,800 remaining per player. So looking a little bit like a balance build type of day to start off. We'll see if any other value does open up throughout the day, especially in terms of the 76ers and Warriors, as those are probably the 2 most likely destinations. Could be the Rockets as well, especially if some of those guys end up sitting once again on the back-to-back. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to FanDuel and talk about my core picks over there as well. So on the FanDuel side at the point guard position, I'm going to start off with Chris Dunn, $5,200. Been playing pretty well as of late. Looking for 26 out of him to pay off at 5 times value. Averaging just under 20.5 fantasy points per game so far in the season. Goes against the Phoenix Suns. Should be a pretty back and forth game here. Dunn should be in that starting lineup once again with no Norman Powell and no Derrick Jones Jr. in this matchup. So he's going to be out there. He's going to play probably a good amount of minutes. Really solid defender. He's outperformed this price tag 3 out of his last 4 games. So definitely do like him once again. Currently have him projected for 27, but he definitely could come with some strong upside for more, especially if he has one of those strong steals and blocks games just in general. And then we move down to shooting guard once again, Gary Trent Jr., $4,400, looking for 22 out of him to pay off at 5 times value. Average under 18 so far on the season. Goes against the Atlanta Hawks. Should be an attractive matchup. Kyle Kuzma should be missing this matchup as he's listed as doubtful. We'll see if Gary Trent gets the start. If not, he should play some more minutes and be an efficient scorer for them overall, as long as the shot's going down. Looks like a pretty solid value play to start off the day. Currently, I have him projected for about 23, 24 fantasy points. Then we move down to small forward once again with OG Anunoby, $6,600. Looking for 33 out of him to pay off at 5 times value. Currently averaging about 30.5 fantasy points per game on the season so far. Guy that did get off to a slower start to the season, dealt with a little bit of injury earlier on in the year as well. Goes against the Golden State Warriors, who are on the back-to-back, so they could ultimately end up resting Steph Curry and Draymond Green, which would make it a more attractive matchup for the New York Knicks. And there's a possibility that Karl Anthony Towns could miss this game for the Knicks, which would open up some more usage for guys like OG Anunoby, Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, and Jalen Brunson. And with all that being said, currently have OG Anunoby projected for 34, 35 fantasy points tonight. Then we move into power forward with Yabusele once again, $5,500. Looking for 27, 28 out of him to pay off at 5 times value. The 76ers are on a back-to-back. Andre Drummond is playing on Monday night, so I would assume that he does rest on the second half of the back-to-back. Tyrese Maxey got hurt on Monday with a back injury. We'll see whether or not he plays on Tuesday or not. Kelly Oubre missed on Monday. Paul George missed on Monday, so we'll see ultimately who's available for the 76ers team. But Yabusele could see a pretty significant bump up in usage if a lot of those guys are out once again. So with all that being said, I definitely do like the upside of Yabusele playing big minutes, potentially having a bigger role than normal. Currently I'm projected for 28, but definitely could have some pretty strong upside for even more than that. Then last but not least, at that center position, we're going with Wendell Carter Jr., $5,400, looking for 27 out of him. Currently averaging 24 so far in the season. Interesting matchup versus the Toronto Raptors. Should be one that he does fairly well in. It's a decent matchup versus Jakob Poeltl, who hasn't played big minutes since coming back yet, but Wendell Carter Jr. been playing pretty well as of late. He's been in that starting lineup, playing decent-sized minutes most of the time, so definitely do like his upside once again. Currently, I'm projected for 29 FanDuel points tonight, but definitely could have a little bit of upside for more, and potentially a little bit of downside for less at the same time as well. But with that being said, if you go to these 5 players that I do have listed on the FanDuel side, you have $32,900 remaining. Just over $8,200 remaining per player, so a lot of room and flexibility to spend up. You know, whether that's paying up to the tippy top for a guy like Luka Doncic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, a lot of different options out there, especially on the 9-game FanDuel slate. But we'll have to see what other value does open up throughout the day as we do try to cover some of that as well. But with that being said, these are my core picks for both DraftKings and FanDuel for Tuesday, March 4th. As always, if you have any questions related to NBA DFS, be sure to drop them down in the comment section below, and I'll get back to you as quickly as possible. And then once again, I'll be listing my morning injury report down in the comments section. 4 teams on the back-to-back, so we'll have those 4 injury reports coming out later on the day. I'll be leaving all the other injury updates down in that comment section, as well as my updated core about 20 to 30 minutes prior to lock. That will be left as a pinned comment. If there's any other additional changes after that point in time, I will leave them as a reply to that pinned comment. And then last but not least, I'll be posting as many of these starting lineups as I can get to throughout the evening as well. So definitely be sure that you are checking up down in that comment section so that you do have the most up-to-date information as possible. But with that being said, if you are brand new to my channel, checking out for the very first time, or have yet to subscribe, please consider doing so. Definitely would appreciate it. Helps to build the community that we're trying to build here at Coach Craig Sports, which is one that's truly for you, the viewers, helping you with your DFS. Right now, we have NBA DFS in terms of the core pick videos Tuesday through Friday. Been putting up some NFL draft content as of late. I just posted up my NFL Combine Risers. We'll be doing my mock draft 2.0 in the coming days, so definitely be sure to check that out if that's something you're into as well. And then last but not least, if you're interested in sports betting, if you're interested in prop betting whatsoever, be sure to check out the links and promo codes down in the description below for BetUS, Prize Picks, and Parlay Play if you're a brand new user on any one of those 3 sites. When you sign up, make your first deposit, you will get a first match deposit bonus. For Prize Picks and Parlay Play, it's a 100% match up to $100. And then for BetUS, it's a 125% match up to $2,000. So some pretty great opportunities to be had out there. If you have any other additional questions related to that whatsoever, feel free to reach out to me, whether it's down in the comment section of this video or on Twitter at Coach Craig Sport, and be more than happy to help you with that journey as well. But with that being said, that's all that I truly have for today's video. Definitely appreciate each and every one of you tuning in. Definitely means a lot to me. I hope that each and every one of you have a great rest of your day and some pretty good luck in NBA DFS for Tuesday, March 4th.